As we look at Medina taking on Ferreira, we've got a world champ in Medina. Medina also a triple crown champ, a champ in Tahiti with multiple finals behind him. So you see all that strength behind him with numbers and form. And then you look at Italo Ferreira. In their previous history on one-on-one matchups, Italo is undefeated over Medina at different venues all around the world, which still had us regrouping with our stats team to go, is that real? He's had such a strong connection to bring out his best against Gabriel Medina in his career.
Reflecting on those waves of Gabriel's, they were deep and throaty. Here's Italo on the first wave.
Getting a start, a little bit towards the west, ball pulls in, sneaks out the low road. Over the top of the whitewater, an awkward fall for Italo. And he's already bouncing back, paddling back out. He'll shake that one off quickly. Trying to sneak that early start against Medina, who's famous for it. Italo Ferreira had an amazing comeback in his round 4 heat in a short period of time. Let's see what happened on this one, BL.
You can see that tube's really tight. He ends up coming down through the wave, which puts him in an awkward part of the wave at that point in time. Down at the bottom, sort of pumping at that bottom, trying to get back into sync with the wave, because the exit of the tube, there was a higher line in that tube that might have had him exiting it cleanly.
Now more waves on the way. Medina starting to move into position. This one's got a bit of west in it. Starting to slow down his pace, so Italo decides to take it right into the barrel. This one's going to clamp right on top of him. And Gabriel digging in. Hollow section. And flies for the exit. Beautiful control off the top. There's the lip to hit. Quick fin ditch. And showing that control over the dry reef. Amazing execution for the former world champ.
You said it, Joey. Amazing execution. The energy in what he did just then was spot on. It felt perfect. The timing was perfect. Board looked so alive and on top of the water that it was just creating the opportunities and making one seamlessly connect with the other. And that tube ride was very technical.
Let's watch how hollow this thing was. What do you think about his footwork here?
Well, I loved how low he had to get. You saw that at the start. Then a nice little check snap just to buy some time. He flares the top out of that one, flares the top out of the last one. Clean, connected the dots beautifully. Had to get super low at the start of that tube and picked a beautiful line through it.
Amazing seeing the reef through the inside corner. How important was that finishing move?
Well, I think it was critically important because it made him seem like a winner. Where Italo on those earlier rides looked a bit nervous and not quite there. On this one, Medina looked right there.
Clean turns, great wave selection, and completing it. That inside corner basically has no water over the reef. And looking nice and composed.
His indication of how hollow and whether it's going to barrel or not. And nobody has a better read on that than Gabriel Medina.
Medina up again. Nice wind up. Beautiful hack. Straight up vertical again and hammers it shut. Quick in transition. And he's already going to have Italo needing 2 new waves with 23 minutes on the clock.
Yeah, great strategy. Exactly what you need to do, because in these conditions, you could get caught out.
Journey for Italo Ferreira has been wondering how the injury is going to affect him in this matchup, but it looks like he's been solid ever since round 1. Taking a look at that last one again, BL.
Super tight, and not just tagging it out of the lip, actually able to get a bit of rotation, flare that board a little bit. So given the tightness of the turns on the front side and the quick, rapid succession that had to take place to fit 3 in, oh, the kids, he is so good. He is so, I've got my favourites on this tour and people I love to watch, and there's no one that I love to watch more than Gabriel Medina.
It's like Italo Ferreira did in round 4, BL. We've talked about Medina in the beginning of his heats, taking control early and shutting people down, but he can also be aware of Italo's ability to go above the lip like he did in such a short period of time in round 4 when he turned his heat around with 1:47 to go.
Yeah, and that showed his intention too, that he's had a tube, he's done some turns, and he wanted to show his commitment and dedication to that. Great alley-oop attempt there. Awkward fall upside down and backwards strider. How was that, mate?
35 seconds left in his second air, a 6.0. And that's what sent Connor O'Leary out of the event, even though Connor had the 8.17. Medina now just quickly up and out. One of the most dangerous guys without priority. And Italo well aware of that, wants to stay undefeated.
Chell is a champion bloke and sharing that love with Hurley, with the local community, and helping set the kids off.
12 minutes to go. Italo looking to break the combo super deep on this beautiful West Bowl. Unfortunately, nowhere near the exit on that one. Just drained off beautifully down the line, and Italo got stuck early on that decision. You watch Italo under priority, looking for a ramp, big wind up, tail high whip into the flats. There wasn't a true transition there. Landed hard and almost pulled off a major move.
Took off on that wave, and it looked like he was going to go for an air, but he went no, and just cut out in a controlled way and showed maturity.
Here comes that look for another air, clear for takeoff, and unfortunately loses the handle. Went for that alley-oop rotation, similar to Medina's attempt previous. Next wave right on the head of Italo. Not a whole lot of room to really do a complete duck dive because it's so shallow. Unfortunately, he limped in after the heat against Michael Rodriguez, took some time off, and the medical staff has been incredible because he is using all of his major moves, going for big moves in the flats. Let's see what he has for us here. Italo Ferreira winding up the first section float. Beautiful draw right through the open face using that rail quite well. Rips it off the lip and now just flowing over the inside corner. And just a nice read to break the combination. An important time to get that number in, BL.
Now let me show him what I can do in the air.
Let's see what Italo did here.
Nice little float, buys his time. Big carve here, look, beautiful, big rail carve. Comes down and drives from behind the whitewater into another tight pocket snap, into another little float and through and cuts out onto the shallow reef. Going to be an interesting score, and the sooner he gets this score, the sooner he knows what he needs, the better for Italo, because the longer it takes, with 1 minute 50, he needs information right now to make decisions upon. But at the same time, he knew he didn't need to overcook it, he needed to finish it.
Medina's not going to hold his spot out the back. He's looking for a ramp and now decides to fade out.
Yeah, I was worried too. I was thinking, don't give your priority away for this one, not at this point in the heat. This is critical, and so wise move, smart move, and from both surfers.
Italo Ferreira is already into the countdown, and Gabriel will wisely just shut this down real quick, so there's no questions. Medina flies into the semifinals and gets his first win off of Italo Ferreira in his career.
Take it easy, mate. You've got the win. Don't go for anything silly now. Well managed, very professional. Hard to believe that it's his first victory over his fellow Brazilian, but that's the type of victory, the type of moment that could build some confidence and take you all the way.
Gabriel Medina looking dangerous. He'll be moving on to semifinal number 2.